Let's Talk Live with your hosts, Natasha Barrett and Doug McElway.
And dreams. We have a good show for you today. Coming up, you can probably tell by our little coffee table here that we're gonna get busy. We're gonna blow some things up in a second.
Maybe we're gonna try to blow some things up real good today.
And we're gonna have your tough tax questions. Nobody wants to do these, but what you want to know, before you file and before you might have to file an extension.
All right. Also, how you can get your kids to actually like brushing their teeth even better.
Plus, some of today's hottest topics, including the controversy brewing between politicians and cartoons. Well, times are tough, and if you can't wait for that tax refund to come in for cash, there are other options. One option that's really getting popular is selling your valuables, like those pieces of jewelry you just don't wear anymore, and you could get cash for them. But how do you know if you're getting a good deal or if you're being scammed? Well, that's where Lee Siegel comes in. He's a graduated gemologist and the director of the Bethesda branch of CIRCA. How are you, Lee?
Very well, thanks. How are you?
Good, thank you. You've come armed with some examples that we're going to play with in just a little bit.
Okay.
Flashy stuff there on the table that I want to try on, but let's get down to it first. And you see these commercials, cash for gold, and that really came across TV in the last couple of months. Send in this, we'll give you this.
Right.
How do you know you're getting what you deserve for your valuables?
Well, you really need to know what your items are worth, and the true worth of something is by shopping around. I would never mail anything unless it was a reputable business. These cash for gold, these other scams, you never know what you're getting. You don't know what you're getting back after you send it in. Word of mouth, talk to your friends. A lot of our business right now is repeat and referral business. And people send people to us because we are the ones that buy jewelry the most in this whole area and through the nation.
Is there ever a good timing, a good time of year to try and sell your jewelry?
It's always a good time. Right now, gold is very high, so people are selling a lot of gold jewelry. But with us, the demand is always there. It's not a good time or a bad time. It's always a good time.
It's always a good time. Okay. So let's just start it up. Say if I have something that I haven't been wearing, a gold bracelet, and
I have a sample of a gold
people
bracelet.
are leery of sending things in. Will I get it back?
Right.
Can I trust these people?
Right.
Walk into a pawn shop. How do I know that they're going to give me what I think I should get?
Get offers. We recommend going to a few places. Do your due diligence, and if you have an average price of something that you're getting, it's a good barometer of what it's worth. And go to the place that you feel most comfortable with and trust, or who's giving you the most money.
Is there any way to check to say I'm really getting a good deal, a fair trade for what I'm putting out on the table, other than, you say getting, the quotes from different places? Is there anywhere to check to say, okay, this is this?
Well, jewelry doesn't really have a retail price, so you can't compare from a new piece of jewelry because it just doesn't work that way. The best way is to find out what it's worth by getting some offers.
Okay, let's look at the sparkly things on the table that you brought, and I want to play with the ring first.
Okay.
Too bad this doesn't fit me, but this is beautiful. An engagement ring, right?
Right. Old European cut from the 1950s, about 1.5 carats. Worth for us to buy right around $6,000 or $7,000. Could be more, could be less, depending on the quality and the color of the diamond.
Do you have any stories behind these? Did someone say no?
Not particular this piece. There's one piece here in particular that we do have a very nice story.
Okay, well, let's get back to the ring first before we get to the story. You said $6,000 to $7,000 that you should get for.
Right.
If I walk into your place, it's going to be different than if I walk into a pawn shop or something else. Correct?
Correct. Correct. And just because of $6,000 or $7,000 for this particular ring doesn't mean that you had one the same size is going to bring the same amount of money.
Okay.
There's a lot of different variables.
Okay. Very beautiful. Very beautiful. Let's go on to, what's the one you had the story with?
This piece right here.
Yeah, this is some bling, isn't it? This needs to be on me. No, just kidding. How much?
We paid around $50,000 for that piece.
$50,000.
$50,000.
That's some cash.
We paid more than it's worth. The story behind this piece, very quickly, this was one of the items that was auctioned off at the Madoff auction, the U.S. Marshal auction.
Oh, was it?
We felt that it would be necessary to pay more for it and kind of hold on to it, and we are going to auction it off ourselves down the road and donate some of the proceeds back to some of the charities that have lost a lot of money with the
These days you have to wonder who is in the market to buy something like this, but you'd be surprised?
There's always a market. There's always a market for jewelry with us.
$50,000 in my hands right now. Where are your security guards? Did you walk in here? Yes, of course he has security. Of course. No one try anything. This is great.
They're
Let's go to the
waiting
next
outside
one.
for me.
They're outside, of course. This necklace.
That is a Van Cleef & Arpels Alhambra necklace, a very iconic piece for Van Cleef. Different lengths. It comes in 16th. That's a 30-inch tiger's eye coral. It comes in turquoise with diamonds, all gold. It's a piece that someone would wear for a while and maybe get tired of it, but you need to realize that there's a very high demand for this particular piece.
Very in style right now is
Very,
what first
always.
caught my eye. The long necklaces.
Absolutely.
That's what everybody's wearing.
And the big bib necklaces are coming back into style. So.
You see the changes.
Yes.
The fashion repeats itself, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Okay, this watch. Tell me about this watch.
This is a 1950s Patek Philippe watch, one of the finest watches in the world. Vintage, collectible, a little bit on the small side, but there's many people that still want this type of watch. The movement is triple signed. It's got a Patek Philippe on the dial, the case, the movement. Highly desirable watch.
Okay, next up, this bracelet.
This is a bracelet that has a lot of style from the 1970s, where most of these places that say we buy gold, they would just throw it on a scale and scrap it. It's a beautiful bracelet. It's worth so much more than scrap. And that's where the difference with us versus the mail your gold in and we buy gold. We look at every piece differently as it is a piece of jewelry.
What do you do if, and you may not be able to answer this for us, but if someone feels that they've been scammed, or they know for a fact that something happened, maybe they mailed something in, maybe somebody did them wrong in the process of this, who do you go to?
Better Business Bureau would start. There's no recourse. There's really no recourse. Once you send something in the mail, it's he said, she said. There's really no recourse.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, it's in their hands. What do you
Yes.
say? Okay, last but not least, this watch right here.
Two-tone Rolex Submariner, very iconic through the 80s and up till now. It's still a very popular watch. It's being sold. It's a watch that, again, you might have for 20 years and you're tired of it and sitting in your jewelry box.
Is anybody ever retired? Let me get this straight. Tired of wearing a Rolex and flashing it around town?
Well, there's new models. It's like a car. You
Of
drive a
course, you
Mercedes.
can't wear the old Rolex.
You can't
right,
drive
Lee?
an old Mercedes. I mean, you know, you need the newest style. There's a lot of different styles, but still a very iconic watch for Rolex and recognizable in the public.
So how at your job do you try not to buy what everybody brings in? Aren't there temptations for you?
Well, I make an offer on everything. Every piece of jewelry somebody will come in with, whether it be, you know, these perfect examples here or
But are you
big
walking off
estates.
personally? You spending some of your own cash? Isn't it
No.
hard? You want to buy? No.
No.
You have good willpower.
I do.
Lee, thanks for
I do.
coming in and bringing
Sure.
all this. This is beautiful,
More than
fun to
welcome.
play with, and hopefully gives people a better idea of how they should handle it with their own stuff.
Right.
All right, coming up
Right.
on the show, Doug's going to find out if you can really get kids excited about brushing their teeth and flossing. And, of course, email us if you have any questions. Let's talk live at news8.net. We'll be right back.